Hey guys, what's going on? So in this video I'm going to show you how I leveled my Arcanist from level 1 to 50 in 1 hour and 23 minutes. So if you find this video helpful and you use this technique, please remember to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and you can also leave a comment down below if you think there's anything I could have done better other than obviously just being better at the game, because I can't help it. Okay guys, so before we jump into it, what we need to do is make sure we have the correct gear for our character, okay? So even before we've made the character, we want to make sure we've got the right gear sets for him. So essentially what I'm going to be using then is I'm going to be using a set of New Moon Acolyte and a set of Order's Wrath, okay? These two sets go pretty well together. They're going to make you do a lot of damage even at level 1, and these sets are going to be pretty good throughout to level 50. So essentially you want to have a crafter to make these sets. If you have one yourself, go make them. If you don't, you can ask in guild chats, things like that. Ask a friend who has some research done and then we'll go make you the set. It's pretty easy. Generally I just go to a guild hall. Any of your good trading guilds should have a guild hall. Whatever guild you're in, maybe they have a guild hall for all the crafting tables. That's how I personally make these. You can alternatively go overland and make them that way. That's completely fine. So once you actually have the sets, what you want to do then is you want to make these purple or gold. So I'm going to make them gold because I want to get the most XP, but you can make them purple if you're, you know, a little low on cash and you don't want to put that much effort in. It's not going to make that big a time difference, maybe 5 minutes or so, 10 minutes max, like over the overall time between purple and gold armor. But I'm just going to make it gold because I'm trying to do it quite quickly. So again, it's really important, obviously, remembering that your sets are in the training trait apart from your jewelry. So your jewelry needs to be in the bloodthirsty trait, and I personally upgraded those to purple. But again, you don't have to make them purple. You can make them like blue or something if you're a little low on cash. That's completely fine. It'll do a little less damage, but in the overall grand scheme of things, it's not that bad. And you also want to make glyphs for your armor, weapons, jewelry, all of that. So any glyph you can get on, make sure you get it on. It's going to help you do damage and things like that and just make the process a bit better. Again, I use gold glyphs. You can use purple glyphs if you want. That's completely fine. So that was pretty much it for the gear setup. So now we're going to get into the supplies you would need, okay? So these are pretty basic things. So you want to have some repair kits on your character, okay? Because your armor is going to get broken, because this method involves you dying pretty much every about 30 seconds to a minute max. So your armor is going to degrade quite rapidly and quite often. You want to make sure you have some food. Again, this is just to make you hit harder and also help with your like magicka regen. So I'm on a magicka based character here. It doesn't really matter. I've got like one ability, but I'm using a food that doesn't give me any health, so I can die quite quickly, which helps with the resetting of the rounds, which is actually what takes the most time, is dying and resetting. It's not actually clearing the ads, to be absolutely fair. So having no health buff is really helpful, whilst also helping the more magicka so you can kill the ads a little faster. And then something else that is optional is you can go and buy level 10 spell power pots. So I have a level like 12 character. I just went to the Battlegrounds merchant, bought 200 of these potions. I really didn't need it. I could have got away with like 50 of them, so you don't need that many to get level 50, to be honest. But yeah, you can just buy those to do a little more damage if you want to help with your magic regen, but it's not that essential. It's just one of those little things I'm doing to min-max. So once you have all that gear tucked away in your banker, what you want to do is you want to create your Arcanist, and then just immediately want to do your, you know, character settings. So you want to slot your CP first of all. So again, there's generic CP guides all over the place. I think Skinny Cheeks usually does like the best DPS guide, so that's what you're wanting to look at. So essentially, I'll tell you what CP I have. It might not be the best, but this is what I'm going to use. So in my green tree, I'm pretty much only worried about slotting Rationer and liquid efficiency, okay? It just means I have a food like duration buff and I have a chance of not using a potion. In my blue tree, I have Fighting Finesse, Exploder, Deadly Aim, and Thaumaturge. Again, this is just like essentially what I think is going to be best for Arcanists to do damage in the arena. It could be a little different. You can pick some other stuff and it won't vary too much your damage, but again, you can just look up a guide of like the best DPS and slot those blue slottables. And then as for my red tree, I've got Sustain by Stuff Rune, just so as like if I get a dot or anything on me, I can have a little bit more sustain. That's just really a random one I threw in as like a third option. Then I've got Rejuvenation, Fortified, and Boundless Vitality, okay? So again, just copy these if you want. It's just for ease, or you can look up a more detailed DPS guide. So the next thing you want to do, and this is something people forget all the time when they're making a new character, is go get a Mundus Stone. So you want to go and get the Thief. This is going to help with your damage. Essentially it's going to be like really beneficial. If you don't have a Mundus Stone, your DPS drops significantly, so definitely make sure you grab this. And then there's the most important thing of all. What you got to do is you got to have a little like Pimp My Ride transition. So you got to take your basic level 2 character who looks kind of shitty, and you're going to want to pimp him out and make him look nice. So my guy is now glowing with gold and is really over the top. So That's pretty perfect. So what we're going to be looking at now then is XP boosters. These are things that are going to get you the most experience possible. So what we want to be doing is we want to group with another player. This is going to give us a 10% XP bonus because we're in a group of 2. Okay. We then also want to kind of marry that player because that's going to give us another 10% XP. So you need to get a pledge of Mara from the Crown Store and then basically slot that with the other player in your group, and then you can get married to the Shrine of Mara. Okay. So just pick your favorite friend and marry them. Okay. And you can divorce later. It's completely fine. You just break the ring. And then also what you want to have at the end is obviously your CP 150 scrolls or potions. Okay. I had a couple of scrolls lying around from just like rewards. But also the potions aren't that expensive on Xbox. I think they're like 30,000 coins each. You're only going to need 2 of them if you're doing the exact same method I'm doing. So now we're just going to talk about the actual method we're going to use to get the XP. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is just the best XP method in the game. You probably already know it. You've probably seen my video on it. So what we're going to be doing is we're just going to go into the first room and just keep resetting round 2 over and over and just killing those mobs. Okay, so I don't want to go into too much detail here. There's a full guide on my channel. I'll link that in the description for you if you guys want to get a more in-depth guide of how to do this properly. But essentially you stand in the middle of the room, tune everything in, kill them, die to the last big ad and reset. That's pretty much the gist of it. And literally we're just rinsing and repeating this from level 1 to level 50. Okay, so I'm going to go over the timings of everything and roughly what level we're at certain times. Okay, but I just want to point out that obviously having a friend here who's kind of on like a CP character already, who is chaining things in and doing a lot of AoE damage, that really helps the time. Okay, so if you don't have the friend who's so experienced, your time might be a little different, but not widely different, I don't think. Okay, if you're doing this on your own, it'll be a little different, maybe be closer to 2 hours. But if you have a friend, even if they're not the best player in the game, they're still going to be, you know, very close to the time I got. So we actually reached level 10 within 5 minutes of being here. Okay, which is really good. That's like, you know, that's where you can get your base skills, your base passive, things like that. Start actually helping the other guy who's sort of boosting you a little bit. Because I'm on an Arcanist, again, it's different in different classes. I pretty much just unlock the beam and pretty much just press that button over and over again. It's like the best, you know, cleave DPS thing you could have on the Arcanist. And you really don't have to do much more because again, your body's like chaining things into the center. Ideally, all you have to do is sit and beam them all in a straight line and they all die. So at around 15 minutes in, we're at level 20, which is really good. So again, we've got a couple more skills there. We've got like wall of elements on my character. I'm in between rounds. Whenever I'm dead, I'm slotting skill points and I'm, you know, repairing armor, things like that, making sure I'm doing as much damage as possible. Around 35 minutes in, we're at the level 30. So this is pretty much going to be like just over a minute per level, which is really good. Okay, like that's a pretty substantial level to get in 35 minutes, to be honest with you. I'm quite proud of that. Obviously me and Wolvo aren't perfect, okay, especially Wolvo. I'm mostly perfect. He's a little bit not perfect, right? So I blame him entirely for this. But sometimes we had to like reset rounds slowly, or we had to like travel out and reset an instance because we went too far. You know, things like that. So I each ended the time a tiny bit, but not too much. But you can do this faster if you're being perfect. Also, our positioning wasn't perfect and my skill choices weren't perfect. I didn't unlock my ultimate for some time where I could have definitely unlocked that sooner and, you know, boosted us a little bit faster. So we ended up getting level 40 with 2 minutes to spare. So in just under an hour, 58 minutes, we got to level 40, which is really good. Ideally, I would have liked to level up fully in an hour, but I think I would have had to do some like absolute min-maxing and also had unlocked chains, which, you know, would have been a bit of an effort, but it might be able to be done. I'll maybe try again in the future, but just for the purposes of this video, 1 hour 23 isn't that bad. And then that brings us on to actually hitting level 50. So as you can see, we hit level 50 here. It says in the time played 1 hour 49 minutes. Obviously I showed you the start of the video. I spent about 27 of those minutes like doing prep time, like getting my CP, just like, you know, designing my character, getting a nice outfit, things like that, just generic stuff. So it only took me 1 hour 23 minutes to level this Arcanist from level 1 to level 50, which I think is really respectable and something that a lot of people probably don't know is possible. So back in the day, I know it used to take me like 1-2 days of like logging in and out multiple times, running like Halcyon zombies like by myself, doing this stuff to try and level up a character to 50. It would take me like 8 hours plus. So the fact that we can actually do this in 1 hour 23 is really amazing. And even if you're not elite and you don't have like everything down, you don't know exactly what you're doing, you're probably still gonna be able to do this in less than 2 hours. Okay, so hopefully this video has been helpful for you guys. Hopefully you guys can level up quickly and get to play your Arcanist a little bit faster. If you find it helpful, remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content like this, and leave a comment if you think there's anything I could do faster or anything you think other people could do that you didn't see me mention in the guide.